If you followed this series from part one, you've learned something that most people will never understand. Creation isn't a moment, it's a cycle, and the cycle never stops. The void is where you begin. Stillness, formlessness, the infinite space where all possibility lives. The goal gives you direction, not a destination, a compass, something to point the creative energy toward. The standards qualify the build. They tell you what's required, but you won't go below what must be true for the structure to hold. Identity shifts make it real. You don't chase the blueprint, you become it. And from that identity, the behavior and the actions flow naturally. The frequency match sustains you. You surround yourself with what reinforces the creation: people, environments, energy that match the standards you've set. And then after you've expressed the blueprint into the material world, you return to the void, not because something failed, but because the cycle continues. There's always a deeper blueprint, a higher standard, a fuller expression of who you're becoming. The architect doesn't build once and retire. The architect builds, returns to the source, and builds again. This isn't about never being satisfied. It's not about relentless striving without rest. It's about understanding that you are the creative force. That's not something you do, it's something you are. An expression of the same energy that produces everything. And that energy doesn't stop creating. It cycles. Void to form, form to expression, expression back to void. Over and over, each cycle deeper, each creation more aligned. Being here in the physical form in this material world isn't a compromise. It's the canvas. It's the frequency. And you're not just living on it, you're painting on it. With every identity you forge, every standard you hold, every blueprint you bring back from the stillness. The void is where you design. The world is where you build. And the cycle between them, the round trip from formlessness back to form and back, that is the permanent practice of the architect. That is what it means to forge from the void. If this series showed you the full cycle for the first time, double tap your screen right now. The most powerful creators on this planet aren't the ones with the most resources. They're the ones who learned the cycle, who go deep enough to receive the blueprint, clear enough to hold the standards, and brave enough to become the identity, and deliberate enough to surround themselves with what the creation demands. They don't create from the surface, they forge from the void, and they return to it again and again, because they understand that creation is not an event. It's a way of living, a frequency that goes up and down and returns. Today, sit with the full cycle. Enter the stillness. Let a direction emerge. Feel the standards it requires. See yourself as the person who already lives inside the blueprint. Then open your eyes and take one deliberate action from that identity. One action that matches the standard. One step that the blueprint demands. That's the cycle. Void to form and back again. This is part 7, the close of forging the void. Everything in this series, the creative void, receiving the blueprint, the direction, the standards, becoming the identity, the frequency match, and the full cycle. It's one integrated system, and that system lives across 2 books. The Art of Self-Mastery gives you the foundation, the energy, the discipline, and the knowledge of self that makes you capable of entering the void and holding you when you find there. Be No One, An Architect's Guide to Inner Authority, gives you the architecture. You are the architecture, the forging process, the identity framework, and the architect mindset that turns blueprints into structure. Together, they're the complete system. Both are on Amazon. The link is in my bio. If this series moves something in you, the book will take you further than you imagined possible. Comment Architect if you're ready to forge from the deepest level. Share part 1 with someone who's creating the surface and needs to discover where the real creation begins. You are not separate from the creative force. You are it, expressed in form. And the void isn't where you escape to go. It's where you begin every time.